I tag along with Conrad wherever he and the rest of Ian Dallas's followers decide to go. So now we're in Morocco. Me still in my state of, okay, this should all be over soon. But here I am in the middle of these very secret Islamic ceremonies and rituals and being a Jew. I just go along thinking, you know, I married this man and I took the vows. But what I can't figure out is this the thick or the thin? I just keep telling myself, as I so often heard my father say, this too shall pass. My most recent serious excursion into the world of relationships was with Grant. Now, Grant's real name is Lee, but he goes by Grant. And I nearly married this man. I came so close to marrying him that I wore the ring, I set the date, reserved the space, and I even made a cute little binder with ideas for dresses, flowers, food, and creative party favors. I first had a crush on Grant my first night at a playwriting workshop in Palo Alto. He was handsome, highly intelligent, highly artistic, and he wasn't afraid to speak his mind. Our first date was Valentine's Day 2003. We hardly held hands, but after dinner he shocked me when he told me that I was to become the focus of his energy. While I was in love with Grant, over time I discovered what I loved the most about him was not the man I was with, but the man I thought he was going to become. We traveled deeper into Morocco, to the Zawiya of the Sheikh. I witnessed the kinds of things that are not made public to the world. Very beautiful chanting by the men. The women aren't allowed in the room where the men worship, but the sound of the chanting so enthralls me that I climb onto the rooftop with the other women, and we look down through the window and watch. I sit and listen and feel at peace. These men are from all over, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, and the sound of the singing and chanting is like nothing I have ever heard. It is absolutely sublime and beautiful, and it does ring of truth. We're taken to a place called the Medina. We go down narrow, winding roads to the most ancient section of the country. It's a world within a world. A place so far back in time that travelers and outsiders are not allowed. The men go into this beautiful mosque with plush, hand-woven carpets, while we women go into a cold, empty room, sitting on wooden crates, plucking the mint leaves to make their tea.
Okay, Chachkala, what do you want to drink, huh? You want cranberry juice, milk, ginger ale? Oh, your mother likes the ginger ale. We'll save that for her. If she ever gets back from that damn symphony she went to. Honestly, why does she have to go out and do these things? Listen to her record already. She must get so tired. I get tired just making dinner. Cranberry juice? Oi! The bottles! Why do they make these bottles so big and heavy you can't even carry it? Babe! Why didn't you put the juice in a smaller bottle? You know it's too heavy for me like this. I tell you, I'm getting older and older. Honestly, I don't know why your mother couldn't have married a nice Jewish man and settled down, huh? Why would she follow him all over hell to Pakistan and England and Morocco, schlepping your kids around and pregnant to boot? She's all over the place and I can't keep up. Too old for that. I'm done traveling. I went on cruises. I was on the Love Boat. I don't need to do it anymore. Oh, and your Grandpa Bill. For months he's over there fighting, and your uncle hid it all from me. Why doesn't anybody tell me these things? Nobody tells me anything. I don't know what's going on. Why don't they tell me? I won't get upset. I understand. Oy vey, Columbus.
Tonight, for the first time, there may be told a story which is one of the most tragic and yet one of the most glorious episodes in the history of American arms. This is the story of America's 106th Infantry Division. The American 106 was activated at Camp Jackson, Mississippi in March of 1943.
We were out on the edge of the Ardennes forest, and I was up on guard sometime after midnight, and all night long there was the rumble of German machinery going north. And I remember I fired 7 shots from my rifle, and 2 of our men were asleep in a space the size of a large wine barrel, and they didn't hear. That's the amazing thing. They didn't hear me fire a shot. It's one of the mysteries. I don't remember any trouble, except for my toes. I didn't know it, but I was developing frostbite. We were out on the frozen ground, and the snow coming down, and the snow coming down, and that's why I, and who knows how many thousands others, had frostbitten toes. Small detail.
On the 11th of December, the 106th Division was in a sector of the front designated as quiet. The division had not yet seen action. In fact, the 106 had engaged in nothing more dangerous than a few night patrol skirmishes. 5 days later, on the 16th, these soldiers were struck by an avalanche of German steel and fire.
We had gunfire and bombs, but we seemed to be out of danger until one night we're ordered out of camp, and we're told to go here, we go here, we're told to go there, we go there. I couldn't tell you where we went. It seemed nobody knew what was going on. We knew the enemy was close by because shots were fired at us. The main theater was north of us at the Bastogne. That's where the real fighting was. And my nephew, Arthur, he got shot before the capture, at the very beginning of the cleanup by the Germans. And the stupidity of it was, he was a tall kid. He stood out.
The attack got underway just before 6 o'clock in the morning. In the battle that followed, the division suffered 8,663 casualties. 416 men were killed, 1,245 wounded, 7,000 missing. It is believed that most of these men are prisoners of war.
After a big argument with Grant, I paced the house just back and forth, and I'm filled with this despair, this confusion. So much confusion that I can't figure out what to do. I'm so caught up in what to do next. Not the big picture, what do I do with my life, but just in the moment to moment, what do I do next? I just can't figure it out. Do I sit down? Do I write? I can't write. I can't even calm myself down enough to do any one thing. I'm so agitated, so terribly and utterly confused. I just pace back and forth. What do I do? What do I do with this moment, with this day, with myself? And I cry. And I take pillows and I hit the furniture with it. I want to smash things. I want to break things. But I can't do that because then I get caught up in what would happen next. if I broke something, well, then I'd have to pick up the pieces. And picking up the pieces was simply inconceivable. I want it to stop. All of it. Everything. And it's not just Grant. I've been suffering from chronic pain for months. There is so much pain in my body, in my heart. I just can't contain it all. I want to quit all of it. I just want out of this body, out of this life, out of this world. And then I realized that if I kept thinking in that line of thought, I might really get myself into trouble. And intellectually, I knew I didn't want to kill myself, but I just couldn't stop thinking about it. And it scared me. It terrified me so much that I couldn't stop thinking about how I would do it. I had the perfect plan. I knew exactly which pills to take, how many, and I knew that I couldn't take them all at once or my body would reject them, and then I'd be left on the floor vomiting it all up. I knew that I had to take a few of these, wait an hour, take a few more, and so on. And just the fact that I was thinking about it and couldn't get it out of my mind was enough to make me call my friend Linda and tell her I needed help. She asked me, "Are you thinking about killing yourself?" And I told her, yes. But I explained to her that I didn't really want to do it, but that I just couldn't stop thinking about it, envisioning it. Linda came over and babysat me for a couple of days, and even then I couldn't calm myself down. So finally, she packed a bag for me and put me in the car and said she had no other choice than to take me to the hospital. And that's how I ended up in the psychiatric ward.